Hello, everyone. Alrighty. So, hi, everybody. I'm Melissa with Windstar Cruises, and I have been on the Windstar sales team a little over 8 wonderful years. I reside in Southeast Florida, just south of Vero Beach and north of Palm Beach. And I'm not just a Windstar cruiser, or I should say, I'm not just a Windstar employee. I'm a Windstar fanatic because I'm also a Windstar cruiser. I've been on 4 Windstar cruises. I am hooked. I love it. So I'm so super excited to be here and share with you a little bit about Windstar Cruises. For those of you that have not yet sailed with us, we'll do a little brand overview so you kind of get an idea of what makes Windstar unique. And for those that have sailed with us, welcome back aboard. We're excited to host you again. And I think you're going to find some new and interesting features and some new announcements and things that you may not have been aware of. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What we're going to first do is the little brand overview and talk about our newest yacht, Star Seeker. And we'll talk about our featured destinations tonight, which is Alaska, our beautiful Alaskan splendors, and our off the beaten path Caribbean. And those are both on a brand new ship coming soon called Star Seeker. So before we get started, I'm going to show a quick video. And if for any reason the audio doesn't sound great, Marianne, if you could just come on and just kind of give me the thumbs down sign, or if it sounds great, you can give me the thumbs up sign. How about that? So let me go ahead and get that video started, and we'll talk about what makes Windstar 180 degrees from ordinary. Here, let me go ahead and get started.
The wind and stars have guided seafarers for millennia. And now it's your turn to discover their magic on Windstar's iconic Wind class and luxurious all-suite Star Plus class yachts. Revel in the nautical traditions of the sea as white sails unfurl, pulling you towards hidden lagoons and untouched beaches on our Wind class. Or rejoice in the newly transformed Star Plus class with 277 square foot minimum suites that promise a constellation of comforts and amenities beyond your wildest dreams. No matter which yacht you choose, you'll jump directly off the water sports platform at the back of the ship and can join your captain for navigation lessons on the open bridge. Customize your experience with all-inclusive or cruise-only fares. Come, the wind and stars are waiting. Wherever you want to go, Windstar knows the way.
Wow, what do you think? Pretty amazing. So as you probably saw in the video, it's gonna feel like home at sea. We have beautiful large yachts. We go to unique destination experiences. It's very relaxed, very comfortable, lots of fun-loving moments. We have just a very personable and very friendly crew. And who we are, well, we like to say we're yachts, not ships, right? We have small yacht style vessels with fewer than 350 guests on board. So, yes, it does feel more like home at sea than a regular cruise. Who we are, we're known for offering unique destinations that are, unique even in the small ship market, even places where other small ships can't always go. We can go into places like the Corinth Canal in Greece. We can go dining among ancient ruins in ancient Ephesus in Turkey. We could go onto an uninhabited island and watch a fire dancing show in Bora Bora. So we like to offer unique destinations. And we introduced the world to one of the first motor sailing yachts, one of the I'm sorry, with one of the first sailing yachts. It does also have a motor. It is not a sailboat, but we can go under sail only. But that's actually one of the first of its kind. And today we even have one of the largest motor and sailing yachts at sea. So very, very exciting. And we consider ourselves an established brand, an innovative brand, and we're really embracing our timeless roots. The crew are lighthearted, genuine. We have very, very welcoming crew and a really down-to-earth spirit on board, and we offer lots of personalized service. It's a casual yet polished atmosphere. It's relaxed, unpretentious, yet it is also upscale. We don't stand on pomp and circumstance like maybe some other small ship cruise lines do. We just create an environment that feels open and fun and inviting to all. And who we are not would be, well, we're not giant floating cities. Some of you might have done the big ships with your kids and the grandkids, and that's great. And those are a lot of fun. But there's a time where you just want to kind of scale back and do something a little more personable, a little more intimate. So we don't have any big ships. We don't have any crowded experiences. We don't offer generic or bland itineraries. This is not ordinary sightseeing. Every journey special. And we have product experts that put our itineraries together and hand curate our optional shore excursions. And we're not a corporate cruise brand, so we're privately owned by one of our longtime past guests, Mr. Philip Anschutz, a businessman in Denver, Colorado. This is his favorite cruise line, and when I go on my favorite cruise, I buy a T-shirt, and he bought the whole company. So, so he has that pride of ownership, and you're really gonna get a really, great guest focused experience. So we like to say it's 180 degrees from ordinary. And what does that mean? Well, the crew become your travel companions. They're just really warm and inviting, and it's not scripted. They really want to get to know you and really show you a great time. And don't be surprised if, in the Caribbean, if they jump right off the back of the ship with you and snorkel and do fun stuff, because that's part of the Windstar experience. The crew are, this is their home, and they love to share their fun yacht toys with you. And of course, 180 degrees from ordinary, the size of the yachts. A lot of small ship cruise lines have 600, 900, 1,000 passengers, and comparatively speaking, those are smaller ships. But when you're on a beautiful large yacht that holds between 150 and 350 guests, wow, that is the sweet spot. That is really the key to our home at sea vibe. And as I mentioned, we're really pioneers in modern cruising. We have led the way for 40 years, and our parent company, Xanterra Travel Collection, which Mr. Anschutz owns, has over 150 years in upscale travel and hospitality. So when we talk about the Windstar brand, we talk about the ships, the destination, but also the people. The ships are gorgeous, and we could do an entire webinar just showing you pictures of the ships, but you can find those virtual tours on our consumer website, windstarcruises.com. You could do virtual tours of the ships. But just so you know, Wind and Stars, Windstar Cruises, we have two different styles of ships, Wind class and Star class, Wind and Stars. So the ones on the left there, on the bottom left, those are the Wind class sailing yachts, not sailboats. They do have stabilizers and motors, but we can rely on wind if we wanted to. We could cut those engines off and just glide. It is magical. But it does have stability that you wouldn't necessarily find on a sailboat. And then, of course, the Star class, those are three all-suite yachts, and we have two new ships coming soon. So an overview of the brand, a beautiful classic yachts, six classic yachts, two brand new ships coming soon. So all of our ships have been totally renovated and refurbished. The common areas are inviting and welcoming, and lots of social areas. Food and beverage, always included. All your non-alcohol beverage is always included. All of your meals are always included, even 24-hour room service. We have alternate supper clubs. Those are beautiful, but they do not cost extra. And maybe you want in-suite dining. You can order right off of the five-star gourmet menu and have that delivered right to your room or your suite if you like. Our water sports marina, as I mentioned, we do launch water sports when we're at anchor in select ports. We host private events ashore in select destinations. We also invite the local culture to come on board. We have great entertainment. We hand curate our cruise tours. So if you're looking to do something before or after the cruise, reach out to Kaufman Travel Team. They can assist with helping you plan cruise tours before and after to maximize the time you're there. And our hand curated guided shore excursions, phenomenal, incorporating a lot of locals in the fun experience. And all of our ships have a spa and fitness center. There's no charge to use those facilities. The actual spa treatments are going to cost extra, but to use the sauna, the steam room, the fitness center, relaxation areas, no charge. Life on board is carefree and relaxed and just fun and friendly and lots of wide open spaces. You never have to reserve a deck chair because there's plenty of deck chairs. You never have to worry about running out. Where do we go? Well, it's easier to show you where you're going to fly to and meet the yacht because we have 187 itineraries. We're in, 80 some countries, 322 ports. So this kind of shows you where you would fly to. So if you're going to do, let's say, the Caribbean, you would fly to San Juan or St. Martin or Barbados or Aruba and pick up the yacht. We only leave out of Miami about once or twice a decade. So those are not very often. So our Caribbean are in the Caribbean, and it's only when it's not hurricane season. And then everywhere you see on here is seasonal when it's their best time of year. There's two places on this map that don't really have much of a winter. They don't get hurricanes. They're, paradise all the time. And that would be Tahiti and also the Western and Southern Mediterranean. So we're celebrating almost 40 years now in Tahiti. We're there year round. It's beautiful. There's 7, 10, and 11-day Tahiti vacations. So you can reach out to Kaufman Travel Team for more details, but you could do like up to 6 islands on the 7-night or additional islands if you have extra time. And then for 2026, we've enhanced our Tahiti or Polynesia itineraries into the Cook Islands, into Fiji, into other places like the Marquesas. Beautiful. So we like to invite the cultures on board, not just in Tahiti, but other places too. So in Spain, we have the flamenco dancers and, different places around the world. We invite the culture on board. So you really get a cultural experience. The crew is really, truly the heart of the experience on Windstar. As I mentioned, very warm, fun-loving nature, very professional, but 5-star service with a smile. And the guests really make Windstar lots of fun. We've got, very active adults, typically ages 45 and above. We get a lot of empty nesters, retirees, folks that have worked hard. They've taken the kids on lots of vacations, and now it's time to really enjoy themselves in a primarily adult environment. We do accept kids age 8 and above. So if you're thinking about bringing your child or your grandchild, as long as they don't mind hanging out with the adults and they're pretty well behaved, then, why not? But most cruise lines, small ship cruise lines are adults only. But yes, we are family friendly. We do cater to folks that are adventurous. They seek new experiences. So a lot of our shore excursions are adventurous, such as zip lining or maybe, ATV rides or e-bikes or, lots of different stuff. But then also folks that are interested in food and wine and the arts and culture. And we have excursions for those folks in mind as well. We do have 2 new ships coming. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Star Seeker, but Star Explorer will be right behind her. So Star Seeker is coming out in December of 2025 this year, and she'll have her Caribbean season starting in January 2026. And then the Star Explorer will be inaugurated in December of 2026 and have her inaugural season in 2027. So Star Seeker is a perfect yacht to see small places in Alaska. We're going to be heading to Alaska. We'll be able to go into places like the Tracy Arm Fjords and Kenai. Also, the ship will continue from Alaska into Japan, into beautiful places like Karatsu and Takamatsu, smaller places. And before she starts her itineraries in Alaska and Japan, she'll do very immersive Caribbean, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And she'll also cross the Panama Canal heading towards Alaska. So if you have a lot of time on your hands, you are more than welcome to book the Caribbean and stay on all the way to Japan if you like. We have about a 40-some day trip all around the Caribbean, through the Panama Canal, up the western seaboard into Seattle, heading up to Alaska. Then from there, and that takes about almost 50 days. And then she'll start her Alaska and Japan season. So if you have a lot of time to spare, we might be able to get you on for the whole thing. But meanwhile, we'll talk a little bit about Alaska and Caribbean. So the Star Seeker, beautiful ship holding just 224 guests. rests, almost all balconies, not all, but almost all balconies. They are all suites, and we'll have five dining venues and lots of great amenities on board. We're not going to kind of get into all of the different accommodations, and she's not yet built, so these are just renderings, but I'm just going to flip through and show you examples of these beautiful and spacious and really, contemporary and tasteful accommodations using, the color schemes that are just really beautiful and relaxing and soothing seascape colors, bright and cheerful, and but it still looks like Windstar. So if you've been on our any of our six classic yachts, this feels very familiar. So you're going to walk on and say, "Wow, I feel like I'm on Windstar. I feel like I'm at home. This feels really great." So all of the accommodations are going to really have what all of our ships feature: luxurious linens, interactive TV, L'Occitane upgraded bathroom amenities, shampoos and soaps and lotions and potions and things like that. Lots of drawer space, large walk-in closets on these particular ships. So lots to offer there as well. So Scenic Alaska and Alaskan Splendors are our two itineraries for Alaska for the 2026 season. There's 7 to 8 nights for Scenic Alaska, or our most popular, which is the 10 to 12 night Alaskan Splendors. So how is Windstar different in Alaska? Smaller ports like Haines and Wrangell, slower destinations, more destination intensive itineraries, less of those large touristy places where the big ships go. We also have a 7-person expedition team that lives on board. They're part of our Windstar family. They're interacting with the guests, giving lectures, all kinds of interesting discussions, leading the expeditions and excursions that are optional, but you don't want to miss them. We have the kayaking and Zodiac boat excursions launched right from the yacht. That's very, very unusual for Alaska. Most Alaska ships do not have the capability to launch their Zodiacs and their kayaking right from their own vessel, and we do. So that is really, really great. We get you closer to the scenery, closer to the fjords, because we have a very shallow draft on the Star Seeker. So you have a 10-day cruise, July 28th of 2026, that's going to be hosted by Kaufman Travel Team. Tammy and her husband are booked, and they are looking forward to hosting you on this wonderful trip. If we get a large enough group, there's going to be a beautiful private cocktail party on board Star Seeker. I hope you'll book early because this ship is actually, wow, it's really getting filled up because this is our inaugural season on a brand new ship. And we have not been doing Alaska for the last several years, so I think since 2019. So this is a really pretty big deal for travelers that want to see Alaska, to be able to go into these beautiful places beyond the reach of many of the big ships. So some popular highlights would include the well, when you're in Seward, that could actually be considered a destination as well, of course. You're going to find beautiful museums and welcome centers and cultural centers. And when you're on board the Windstar ship, you're going to be doing some scenic cruising through the beautiful inside passageway. You're going to be visiting places like Ketchikan, where they have the beautiful totems of the Native American cultures there, the Petroglyph Beach in Wrangell with the beautiful ancient cave illustrations, beautiful beauty of the Tracy Arm Fjords, the Mendenhall Glacier in Juneau is very, very picturesque. This particular itinerary was named by Condé Nast Traveler magazine to the 2019 hot list. That, as I mentioned, we haven't been back to Alaska in quite a while, but when we did, we were really known as being the Alaska itinerary that gives passengers more access to so many aspects of the state's true culture than any competitor. We were super excited, and that's why we brought this Alaskan Splendor itinerary back for 2026. Super exciting. So this is your itinerary at a glance. So you could see, full days there in the ports, plenty of time to do things because not all of the excursions happen to take place right by the waterfront. Sometimes they're going further out into the more interior places away from the waterfront. So we don't want our guests to feel rushed. So you can see, we have full days there, so you can go on those longer excursions. And if time permits, sometimes you'll be able to do more than one excursion. Our website will not let you book more than one if the times don't mesh. So no worries about that. But if you want to really maximize your time, definitely check out our optional excursion excursions in various price ranges. We will have an opportunity to go into those misty fjords, and on that day, we are going to be anchored out, and we will be launching the toys from that water sports marina right there that day that in the misty fjords. But there'll be a lot of excursions, a lot of things that you'll be able to choose on board. So Seward to Vancouver. Seward can be considered one of your ports of call as well as Vancouver because there are beautiful gardens and things there in Vancouver, beautiful city. And so if you want to really do this trip, you're not going to want to wait because the sailing, according to today's availability, is 53% sold out. So we hope you'll join Kaufman Travel Team, Tammy and her husband on this beautiful cruise, July 28th of 2026. And Kaufman Travel Team really did a great job securing some special rates. So you can do an ocean view, which is a suite starting at 5757. Wow, I should play those numbers in the lottery. 5757. I like how that sounds. Ocean view. There's infinity window cabins for a little over 6,000. So 6042 per person, and then veranda balcony suites for from around 6,800, 6,802 per person. But there are just limited number of suites available at those prices. When you book with Kaufman Travel Team on this sailing, you're going to receive a free upgraded experience. So you're going to receive the alcohol package, the Wi-Fi package, and the tips and gratuities, plus a 200 per person shipboard credit. You can use that in the gift shop. You can use that anywhere you can spend money on board the ship. It would be fine. Those are for purchases on board the ship. So your deposit amount to join the Alaskan Splendors 10-day group for July 26th through August 7th, the deposit amount is only 15% of the cruise fare. So it depends on what accommodation you would like. But again, the sailing is more than half sold out. So if you'd like to join the beautiful Alaskan Splendors, please reach out to your Kaufman Travel Team representative. And if you'd like to stay on board for the whole season and head to Japan, we can make that happen. Japan and South Korea, beautiful places on a 10-night cruise, visiting lots of UNESCO sites and lots of memorial sites for in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, castles. There's lots of monuments and shrines and beautiful Mount Fuji, of course, Japan's highest mountain. So maybe consider staying on as well. And then if you want to stay on longer than that, after doing Japan and South Korea, you might decide to do some Southeast Asia itineraries with us. These are brand new for 2026. So check those out. And the Grand Asia Explorer will go to 8 countries and 30 ports in Asia. So looking in a different direction, let's talk about something tropical and beautiful. But before we do, I just want to pause for a moment and see, Marianne, are there any questions in the chat or any particular questions about this Alaska itinerary or anything that we spoke about so far before we talk a little bit about an off the beaten path Caribbean cruise?
I don't see any questions in the chat, so I think we're good to keep on rolling.
Hey,
Okay.
Marianne.
Yeah.
Hi, it's John.
Hi, John.
We are booked on that Alaska cruise and we're excited about it. Can we go ahead and start booking the excursions, or do we need to wait?
You do not have to wait, but I'm not sure if all of the excursions have been uploaded yet. But you could certainly check on windstarcruises.com and they should have some options available for you to pre-reserve. But I know that they are working on some additional excursions as well, so you'll want to check back from time to time.
And is
And
it
if you book
fairly
something,
easy if we see something we want to change to cancel one and take another one?
yes, they're very flexible unless otherwise stated. So there'll be terms and conditions, and in most cases, the normal terms and conditions will apply, which is typically, I think it's 2 days prior to sailing. You could usually change your or cancel your excursion if you found something else you wanted to do instead. But there's some private tours that have some more a little bit stricter terms, but yes, they're very flexible. And so if you book something and then they announce another excursion that you prefer, then yes, there's no problems there, no penalties there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome aboard.
My other question that's popped up is that we just need to know, refresh my memory on how many folks we need for the cocktail party. I should know this, but I'm drawing a blank.
You just need 18 guests. So, so 9 couples or 18 individual guests. If you're a solo traveler, that's fine. We do, have some solo fares available, but we do offer a beautiful private cocktail party. That's usually in the Yacht Club Lounge, which is beautiful, and that would be 18 or more guests. So you can tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and so on and so forth. Let's make it a party.
Sounds good. I know we have a number already booked. I'm just not exactly sure what that number is, but that's the goal. All right, very good. We'll let
Wonderful.
we'll let you carry on.
So yeah, so let's trade in our yellow expedition jackets for flip-flops and bathing suits and sunglasses. How does that sound? So we know what y'all are doing in July of 2026, of course, right? You're going on Alaska Splendors. But you don't have to wait that long to take your next great vacation because we do have the Star Seeker in a beautiful Caribbean itinerary of the Leeward Islands. And so, as I mentioned, the ship will be launched in December of 2025, this winter, and have her inaugural in Miami in 2026 in January, and head over to the Caribbean, and she'll be in San Juan on Friday, January 23rd through February 6th. This is a beautiful 14-day itinerary. If you have extra time to spare, as I mentioned, you could check with the Kaufman travel team of what's going on the week before or the week after, because you could do back-to-back sailings and stay on with us the whole trip. Like I mentioned, head up to Alaska with us, stay on the Star Seeker and head through the Panama Canal and head up towards Alaska. Why not? You could be on there all the way through the July cruise. I think that would be amazing. But if not, then 14 days will be wonderful as well. So also on the beautiful Star Seeker, this off the beaten path cruise. This is going to be hosted by the Kaufman travel team. And Marianne, have you announced your host or hostess at this point, or is that TBA?
That's TBA at this point.
Okay, great, great. So this is a beautiful itinerary. If you could craft the most perfect Caribbean itinerary, I think it would look a lot like that. In fact, when I'm looking at that, I'm remembering very fondly a few years ago when I did this very similar itinerary. And I have to tell you, it was fantastic. It's hard to pick my very favorite. I have a couple favorites, but I absolutely fell in love with St. Bart's. And I absolutely fell in love with Joost van Dyke, and I did a 7 night, so I didn't get to do this whole 14-day. I did not get down to Bequa or Miro, and I haven't seen the pitons of St. Lucia. That's all on my bucket list, but I did like this partial itinerary, and I'm still dreaming about it. Joost van Dyke has two of the best Caribbean tiki beach bars in the world. So you definitely want to spend time at the Soggy Dollar Beach Bar. They call it the Soggy Dollar because the yachts anchor out and swim ashore to go get their fantastic tropical cocktails, and there's lots of beach games and fun things going on there. It's a really great time. So check out the Soggy Dollar, and on the other side of the island check out Foxy's, because that's where the sailboaters go. It's kind of a little more quieter and a little more laid back, but they're both really fantastic. So that though I have fond memories of all these beautiful places that I got to go, and many of these are on my bucket list as well. So as I mentioned, it's a perfect itinerary. We are planning a fun signature barbecue party. One of the days we usually do that on a beautiful beach, weather permitting. It's typically always beautiful there in that part of the Caribbean. But we have our signature beach party, and then we'll do our onboard barbecue party out by the pool on deck on Star Seeker. Again, weather permitting. We'll be launching water sports on multiple days on this itinerary. You've got a lot of unique highlights, a lot of UNESCO heritage sites, fortresses, your beautiful cultural places of cultural interest, natural beauty like the two volcanic peaks, the pitons of Saint Lucia. You've got great shopping and the Montserrat. That's a place I've not yet been. That they call it the Pompeii of the Caribbean with its half-buried city. So you could do a lava hike there. Very, very unique. So this is your itinerary at a glance. So again, you have full days, and some of these days you're actually not even departing till 10 o'clock at night. So you could experience, the happy hour, the early nightlife, the waterfront festivals and things that are going on that, other ships don't usually get to stick around for. So we'll be there till 10 o'clock at night. So if there's nightlife in on an island, and if there's things to do in the evening, we are typically there a little bit later, as you can see. So it's just beautiful. And You could see on the right-hand side, you could see the different dates that we are planning to open the water sports marina. So that's when we're at anchor, weather permitting, depending on the port, because sometimes if it's crowded in the port that day, we're not able to do it. But we typically find a place in the area that's a little more secluded so that we can open the water sports marina, and launch those fun toys. Everyone can get custom fit with snorkels, masks. That's going to be yours for the whole trip. You could take it ashore, go to the beach with it. We do have excursions that do have snorkeling, and for divers, we do have some diving excursions. Those are all optional for additional cost, but there's no cost to use any of the fun equipment at the water sports marina. So snorkeling, paddle boarding, windsurfing, fun, all kinds of fun yacht toys. But it's not all about the great beaches and the beautiful waters. There's all sorts of unique sights to see, and shopping, of course, one of my favorite sports. So this is a great itinerary, and you can pack light. Just pack for a week, because on this particular sailing, you will be getting complimentary personal laundry services. You won't be in a laundromat. Don't worry, we're going to take care of all your laundry for you. So any of our cruises that are 14 days or longer do come with complimentary laundry, because we want you to pack light and not have to worry about overpacking, and you can have your clothes taken care of every day if you like. So and go home with all clean clothes. That's the best part, going home with a suitcase filled of clean clothes. So this dream vacation begins January 23rd of 2026 through February 6th, round trip San Juan, so it's easy to plan the airfare. And as you mentioned, we've got the free unlimited laundry. You're also getting 200 per person of onboard credit. And we do have some special rates available. So a little over 5,400 per person for an ocean view suite. An infinity would be 5,884, and a veranda suite would be 7,024. That's per person based on double occupancy. This sailing is, as of today, 68% sold out. I just checked this morning before I kind of finalized this presentation. So I don't want anyone to be disappointed. Please consider depositing, even if you're not 100% sure what your plans are for January 23rd of 2026. Get that deposit in. It's only 15%. We have very flexible terms. You would get your entire deposit back with the exception of a small cancellation fee, which is typically no more than $50 per person. But I assure you, it is well worth it to have the peace of mind that you are booked on Windstar's newest ship, the beautiful Star Seeker, 224 passengers, all suite in the Caribbean. And I believe this season in the Caribbean will be the only Star Seeker Caribbean season, because, as I mentioned, the ship is heading towards Alaska and heading to Japan and Southeast Asia, and then doing it all over again, Alaska, Japan, Southeast Asia. That's going to be for 3 years. So she's being launched, as I mentioned, launched in December. She'll have her inaugural in Miami in January, and then you'll be on this beautiful Star Seeker cruise January 23rd for 14 days. And then she does the Caribbean and heads out. She will not be planning to be back in the Caribbean at any time that I'm aware of. So, this is your wonderful chance to do a beautiful new ship on Windstar in the Caribbean. So just to recap, why should you choose Windstar? Well, there's a lot of great reasons, and those two itineraries are reasons enough, right? And the price is definitely right, and it is an all-suite ship from the Star Seeker. But I would also say the authenticity of Windstar. You're home at sea. It's not a hotel at sea. It's very, very lovely, very fun and personable, and your crew feel like travel companions, and you're really going to have a great time. It's yacht style. It's not mainstream cruising. So if you like things that are unique, you like to do something a little bit different, not cookie cutter, you're not the typical tourist, then this could definitely be for you. And it's an immersive travel experience. It's not just sightseeing. We can go where the larger ships can, and you can see that in those itineraries that I shared with you. So you'll have rare and authentic travel moments, and many of those experiences are exclusive to Windstar. So I know I may have gone a little bit over. I apologize for that, Marianne. How are we doing on time? Do we have time to take some questions? I'll come back on and see if we can answer any questions.
I'm good. We do have time for questions if anyone wants to unmute themselves to ask any questions. If you're timid about that and you want to put something in the chat, I'll monitor that as well. You can also turn your video on if you want to, so we can see your face, but if you don't want to, that's okay too.
I know how it is. Sometimes, folks don't necessarily like to talk online, but you could always reach out to Kaufman Travel Team.
Yep.
They're there to assist you with any of your questions that you may have. If it's questions they're not sure the answer to, they're going to reach out to me. We have a team of travel professionals available 7 days a week that support the Kaufman Travel Team. So you have questions, you need a little more information, or maybe something caught your eye on this presentation in addition to Alaska and Caribbean. Maybe you want to talk about Tahiti or the Mediterranean or maybe Iceland or some unique place. So definitely, we can assist you.
Absolutely. And as many of you know, Ken and I have, sailed with Windstar in the past. Betty Ann and Lonnie were with us too. Tammy and Eddie are getting ready to, and Betty Ann and Lonnie and ourselves are going to be in Tahiti. A lot of folks are joining us for Windstar in Tahiti. So we just wanted to, keep that excitement rolling for more adventures with Windstar. So we've grabbed a couple of these and continued to look into the future for what might be the next adventure. Like you said, there's so many different unique itineraries that are just amazing, and all of the ships are special in their own way. So, we loved the sailing vessels. We probably will do another one of those in the future. Probably back on windsurf would be one that I kind of would love to try that again and do something different there. So we're looking down and out into the future for what might be next on the horizon. But if you've got some ideas and thoughts, or you need us to check on something for availability and pricing, reach out to your Kaufman Travel Team travel associate, and we will certainly take a look and get some information. So I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't think anybody's turned on.
Well, I have a question for the audience.
Okay.
What are you all doing on May 13th of 2025? Anything planned? The reason I ask is, Marianne was mentioning the windsurf, and there on your screen, you could see a beautiful sailing yacht there, one of the world's largest sailing ships, Windsurf. She holds just less than 350 guests. Well, I am going to be on board, and you all seem like a really fun group. So we do have some great last minute deals available. The Kaufman Travel Team can assist you with pricing and availability. It's getting kind of tight because we're getting close to sailing. But I just checked this morning for a friend of mine who's interested in going, and there is still space available and some last minute deals as well. So that's always great. So and if you're a resident of Florida or certain other states, just let Kaufman Travel Team know, because we do have some resident rates on select sailings. So if you want to sail away to the Mediterranean, I'm going on the 13th of May from Rome to Barcelona, and it's going to be doing the French, Italian, and Spanish Riviera. How does that sound?
Mm. I personally thought it sounded amazing, and I knew you had already mentioned it to me. And if I didn't have a grandson getting ready to graduate from high school, that kind of messed up several different possible plans, but that's okay because, grandsons graduating are
That's
important.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some great opportunity there. So absolutely just let us know. We'll be happy to check on availability and pricing.
Sure, I'm seeing, a lot of couple familiar faces on the webinar from past webinars, and I
Yep.
know some of you are already Windstar enthusiasts, and we do offer some yacht club benefits if you are a past guest and you recommend folks that are new to Windstar who book, and you and they can all get some special perks. So just reach out to Kaufman Travel Team; they'll assist you with that. But if you don't have anything planned, May 13th, come on board Windsurf. It's going to be a great time. But
Absolutely.
meanwhile, we'll hopefully see you on the Star Seeker in 2026.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much, and we will let you go, and I'll t turn off the recording, and we'll end the meeting. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye bye.